drinking problems, mental problems. Now that stuff, the mental issues, that has been documented in his own book that he wrote about, depression and things like that. So that part was true. But they do in the movie and in the series, they do make everything way over the top. I mean, even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did a little article about it. Well, he called it dull. He said it isn't just deliberately dishonest, it's drearily dull. And I don't think it's dull at all. I think it's good. I think it's funny. But it goes to the, we all joke about me why I won't see the movie Invincible because I think it's false. However, this one, even though they do say it in the credits, that they have things, I don't know if they use the word exaggerate, but they say it's based on the book and it's over-dramatized. Because it's a comedy, it doesn't bother me.
But they're using real names and images of real people. Like, it's not one of those where they say, the names and faces have changed due to copyright laws or whatever.
Right.
So they're using Jerry West's name and portraying him in a certain way. They're using Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's name and portraying him in a certain way. So if it's not right, if it's not factual, if they can't back it up. Now the hard part is going to be proving that he's not an a-hole.
Right.
But they put that out there, and now it's up to Jerry West and it's up to his now legal team to take steps that they feel necessary.
Right. He has demanded a retraction and an apology for what he called a baseless and malicious assault on his group.
Now, did Jerry West also say, I never broke the fourth wall? That never happened. I never turned around and talked to the camera.
Man, I like it because it was part of, I watched that whole, team go from the beginning. Look, if you want to sit there and say, how do they portray these guys? They portray Magic as basically a dumb sex fiend to a certain extent as well. Pat Riley is not portrayed very well at all. The head coach, Paul Westhead, who took over for the coach Jack McKinney, who got in a serious bike accident, looks like the biggest wussy with a P of all time. He just was wanting to quit. He couldn't, and he's portrayed by Jason Segel. They do portray these guys in not a very good light. There's no doubt about it. But the basis of it, from what everybody tells me, and the people who've read the book, is true. They just take it like one or two steps. They take it one or two steps further. Do you think he should be given that demand of apology?
Well, if they portrayed him, this is where you have the issue. It's real names, it's real people. Like, it's part of his legacy. And, people are going to watch this who are 25, 30 years old, didn't watch that team, don't know some of the backstories, and this is going to be what they know about it.
I think it's still worth watching because it's fascinating and there's enough truth in there. The name of the guy who portrayed Larry Bird this past week looks just like him. And the trash talk, this Bird is considered, people realize, the king of the trash talk.
Okay.
And they show all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that stuff's all great.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
97.2.
Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket is brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified. WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by Mark Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by the Detroit Tigers. The giant milestone counter in Comerica Park's left field flips 3 times in the Tigers' loss to the Yankees.
First pitch to Miguel, swinging a shattered bat, line drive, base hit it left. How about it? 2-9-9-9 for Miguel Cabrera with a 3-for-3 night.
Dan Dickerson and Jim Price with the call on 97.1 The Ticket right here. Miguel is 1 hit away from 3,000. He had 1 plate appearance to hit that number late in the game, but did strike out. As for the game itself, Detroit fell 5-3 for their 3rd straight loss. They did get a quality start from Eduardo Rodriguez, 6 innings, 3 runs, and 5 strikeouts, but the bullpen gave up runs in the 7th and 8th innings, which were the difference. After reports emerged that offensive weapon Deebo Samuel has asked for a trade from the 49ers, the Lions were linked by media members as one of the teams that could make a move for the unhappy wide receiver who put up over 1,400 yards receiving and 8 rushing touchdowns last season in San Francisco. By the way, we are now officially 1 week away from the NFL Draft's first day. And in the NBA postseason, the Celtics go up 2-0 over Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and the Nets with a 114-107 win at home. The 76ers get a victory in overtime in Toronto, 104-101. They now have a commanding 3-0 lead over the Raptors. And it's a 1-1 tie between the Bucks and the Bulls as Chicago wins 114-110 in Milwaukee. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
97.1 The Ticket with the Governor, with Greg Hargrave, Heather Park in studio. I'm John Jansen. No, I'm not. I'm Michael Stone. He's John Jansen.
Good morning. Late night last night.
It was a little later than I kind of wanted, but, you know,
It's
you can't, at least if you're there, miss a shot. See something special.
No, absolutely. I mean, so we joked about it a little bit yesterday. Hey, if he goes 4 for 4, you're going to be there. And all of a sudden, I get your text that says, hey, obviously with what's going on, I'm going to be a little bit later. Prep might be a little light.
Yes.
And so I thought, you know what? I gotta look at my phone. I was running around, didn't even look, and then I saw the updates.
Oh, yeah.
I said, $29.99. Wait a second.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the box score at 3 for 3. I'm like, holy cow, he's going to do it.
And I know he's coming up one more time.
Yeah.
And he struck out. But you know what? It was not a lot of people there.
Nope.
There was more than there was on Tuesday night. And the people that remained, obviously, were very loud and supportive. And it was kind of cool. It would have been, well, literally it was cool. I mean, look, most of us don't get a chance to warm up when you're sitting outside and you go in the press box for a few innings. So I'm not trying to be an idiot here and say, oh my God, it was so cold. Yes, though, you were in the press box for a few innings. But my daughter and her friends were celebrating her friend's birthday, so I sat with them for a while. And yeah, but more importantly, they lost.
Yeah.
Again, and they're sloppy. And AJ Hinch will be with us at 8 o'clock. We'll find out if he has any cure to the sloppiness. Because that's the theme, both offensively and defense. They did get, 11 hits last night, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, they were hitting the ball.
They were hitting the ball, they weren't barreling stuff up. I mean, even Miggy, an infield hit, a broken bat hit, one of his hits would really be legitimate. Castro had a nice hit, but when they had to get a hit, couldn't.
But that's been kind of what, especially over the last 2 games.
I know.
Like, they needed a hit, and, errors, right? Especially the first inning yesterday. But, and it's led to, obviously, losses against the Yankees, the team that you don't want to give anything to. But when you have runners in scoring position, you got to put the bat on the ball.
Yeah, they were 3 for 11 with runners in scoring position, 8 left on base. And the sloppiness was, not just, defensively. It was offensively, too. Miggy trying to stretch or go to third base. With his speed or lack of, I don't take a chance in those situations. I understand the feeling as well, we haven't been able to get a lot of runs. Let's be aggressive. And then to compound him getting thrown out at third, Victor Reyes tries to steal. He's out. So, obviously pitches might have been different, but instead of a situation where you had bases loaded with no outs, you had like a guy on first base with 2 outs.
Right.
I mean, and though you can't do that against a team that, Severino was, pitching pretty well. Look, the positive, and there was some positive, Erod pitched very well. He gave up the home run, obviously, to Rizzo, but, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 5 strikeouts, only had 1 walk. The bullpen was shaky. Well, it was okay. Fulmer was good. Foley looked good. Jimenez, not so good. And then Hutchison, a stupid throwing error. I mean, this stuff is just, it's going on and on. But look, it's still, you look, they're 4-7. They're 2 games out, so I'm not going to go crazy, but you can't keep throwing a sloppy product out day after day. And I know, I watched some of AJ's press conference on the flagship television network. And you can just see it. Even when they were asking about Miggy, he kind of, he knows they're playing crappy baseball.
Well, and over the last year, like especially last year, one of the things that we've all talked about is the asset that AJ Hinch is, and that they've played like they're not playing perfect baseball over the past year. And I'm not even talking about the last couple of weeks or even this season, but let's just talk about last season. They were able to manufacture some wins against teams that they shouldn't have won, and we felt like it was solid base running, aggressive when they needed to be, but they were smart about it, and then playing, as mistake-free in the field as they could to try and generate more wins. This year, you kind of thought that was going to be the same thing, and they've shot themselves in the foot way too many times.
Well, I think. Okay, first off, Hinch was a little bit bothered by Torkelson last week. Who I think with the questions,
Right.
when he gets all of his first. I think he's done with this crap, and I think some of us are too. I'm sick of this. Miggy, please just get past this, okay? Because it's time to start winning games around here.
Yeah, no doubt.
And everybody thought this team could take a step this year to a degree. They've had two really bad games fundamentally. I know we had the caller yesterday in the first segment or second that disagreed with me, but I'm sorry, by the book. I talked to some people about this. The last person supposed to catch that pop-up is the pitcher, okay?
Oh, yeah.
It's just the last, it is. It's the book of baseball. The book of baseball says you don't send the slowest person on your team from second, trying to get first to third against a arm like Stanton. In fact, you don't send them, period, when there's 0 outs. Okay? I don't know if they sent him.
Right.
Did Miggy do a Miggy again? We'll find out at 8:02 today when you ask him.
Right.
But it is bothersome, and then you try to steal, and all of a sudden you had 0 outs with first and second, and a big inning looming potentially, and it ended up being a night where they're actually hitting the ball.
Yeah.
And I know this sounds like such a negative way to be on what was a night that had fans buzzing.
Yes.
People left that went to that game, it had people talking, okay? But I'm sick of it because guess what? It's inevitable. He's going to get 3,000. Personal milestones don't do a lot for me. His personal milestone is a big achievement overall, and when it all is said and done, it should be celebrated because he's going to be the 7th person, I believe, to have 3,000 hits and 500 home runs.
Yeah.
That is a unique, special category.
I mean, you throwing the doubles thing with that, it's incredible, but you still win games.
He went on that yesterday. It's just wrong. It's wrong.
I know. I agree it's wrong, but
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody going to argue that they would have been the third base coach and said, "Come on, Miggy."
Yeah, he probably did it on his own. Look, the other thing is you got to get some of your bats hit. I mean, yesterday, look, Meadows had a good first week, but he's cooled down. He was 0 for 5. Scope is batting 119. Candelario 171. He had 2 hits last night.
Yep.
So maybe something like that starts. Reyes was okay. Look, 4, 5, and 6 were excuse me. Yeah, 4, 5, and 6 were pretty good last night. Candelario, Cabrera, and Reyes combined for 7 hits. But when you still need Grossman to get going, you need Scope to get going. Yeah.
I just think
you got to play better baseball.
We've all thought, and I think AJ Hinch would say this even though he won't. Let's get through this month close to 500.
Sure.
And
But
those
that's
are
the whole
the
goal.
last couple of nights. The mistakes are what get you in holes.
No doubt.
And you can't give the Yankees an inch.
No. And so that's 3 of the 4 series thus far.